welcome back to the channel. Those of you who are current subscribers, thank you for returning. Newcomers, go ahead and push that red subscribe and join the family. Today we're cooking, and recently we have decided we're going to try to be as close to plant-based as possible. Now, I may occasionally eat fish or maybe even like some organic eggs, but we haven't quite decided. You know, changing your diet is a lifestyle. So you don't want to be too rigid or too strict. You want to be able to enjoy it. So remember that if you're going plant-based or vegetarian or any diet that you're doing, it's a life change. You want to do it to be more healthy, but you want to enjoy it. Okay, so we're going to get right to going ahead and fixing what we're fixing today. I've got some roasted potatoes with peppers and onions, and this was labeled vegan. We like Trader Joe's. Shout out to Trader Joe's. It's a wonderful little grocery store in Indianapolis, Indiana. We got a pack of those. We've got some organic garlic. We've got Loma Linda veggie burger. We got this from Good Earth. It's another store located in Indianapolis, Indiana. This also, I believe, can be purchased on Amazon. But this is a vegetarian burger. We want onion, red pepper. We've got the cashew cheese alternative. Okay. Now we have cut up some yellow squash, zucchini, and mushrooms just to try and help with our process. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and get started and get these things cut up and get right into the meal. This is a casserole dish I'm going to make that you can eat off of for at least a couple of days. So let's get to it. Okay, take the skin and stuff off of this onion. Cut it in half, make it easier. And I just take that outer ring off. There you go. Take this one off. Now, onion, it's up to you, the preference that you want. I'm going to use 2 onions because I'm a big lover of onions. And I find that most of the meat substitutes or things of that nature, I don't know why, but onion really brings out the flavor in them for me. So you can use 1 or 2 onions. And then also it depends on how large of a pan of the dish that you're going to prepare. You know, because I like to have that onion taste through in my food. Okay. Those 2 cut and peeled. We're just going to go ahead and get those chopped up. Ready to add. We're just going to take and chop those up. Now, some of my meals that I prepare like this, I like to dice up the onions. But this one, what I'm going to do, because I want the onion to be prevalent in the dish, one of the onions, I'm just going to slice it like, and then the other 2, I will cut up and dice up to go throughout the meal. But I want the other ones to be more prevalent and visible in the meal. But that is just a preference. As long as that flavor is there, anything else is secondary, okay? And we can probably leave those sliced too, okay? So we finished with that. Okay, we're going to come over here. Got to get our garlic out of here. To be able to take that. I'm going to use at least 2 cloves of this fresh garlic. I'm starting to see that I like the fresh better. So if you have the fresh, use it. But if you don't, it's not going to stop the flavor by using the powdered garlic or your powdered onion products. But for me, I just prefer the actual vegetable I don't know why, but in my mind, it just seems to be a lot healthier. And then two, we want to be mindful that we're reading all of our packages, because lately I found out quite a few things that I was eating had some things in them that I wasn't aware of. So please start being mindful of what you're eating and do a little investigation as to even to the point as how they are processed, so that you are for sure you're eating things in your diet that you want to be eating. Because like I did, you may find you're eating some things thinking it's okay, and the process in which it was made has something or involves some ingredients that are not to your diet or to your desire to eat. I found out that rennets in cheese, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, people, but that has to do with the texture and the color of cheeses that you eat. Some of those cheeses, they're using enzymes from animals, and it might not be a cow. And the only meat I used to eat before I started trying to be more plant-based is beef, chicken, lamb, and stuff like that. So some of those processes were being done with a pig, and I don't eat that. But I didn't even think of it to that level that, you know, I needed to be paying attention that well, you know, to make sure that even the processes of things that I like to eat were on a beef level and now on a vegan level. So I've got to start even watching some cheeses that I'm eating. We're going to go ahead and get this pan over here. We're going to turn this up. Okay, and get this pan going. I'm still using my faithful friend coconut oil, but avocado oil is still an oil that I'm going to use also. So we're going to go ahead and put, I'm saying I'm putting maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil in there, because we're going to start getting some of these things going. And we're just going to let that heat up. And let me put just a little piece of onion in there to give me a heads up when that oil is hot. Now we're going to come on back over here. We've got that garlic cut up and that onion. And we're going to go ahead and cut up this red pepper. Now, red pepper is a thing where I know I don't like orange peppers. So you might be a person that doesn't like red pepper, but you want some type of pepper. And if you decide to put some heat on it, that makes it even all the better. I'm not going to put heat on this because of who I'm actually cooking it for. Prefers it not to be hot. So we're going to go ahead and leave the hot out. But one good tip that you want to know is that when you are cooking these plant-based meals and you're using some type of meat substitutes, a lot of time if you add or put just a little heat on it, I don't know what it is, but it really does wonders for the flavor. Now these, I don't want to cut them up too little. I want them to be visible and nice. I think sometimes I can just eat vegetables and red peppers and they are absolutely lovely. Okay, so get rid of that. Now, here's our vegetables. Now, these I pre-cut. And a lot of times when I buy some vegetables, if I think they're not going to last or they may, you know, go bad, I will cut them up. And see, these are beautiful. Now, what I did when I bought these mushrooms, I put them in a container with paper towel. You know, mushrooms have a lot of water in them, and that paper towel will absorb that moisture and keep those mushrooms from going bad. I find that they stay longer. Or put them in a brown paper bag, which sometimes that's kind of hard to find nowadays. It used to be something that was really common, but that's not really common anymore. So we're taking out all our vegetables. At this point, if you want to cut some of these pieces up further, to break it down further, then go ahead and do that. You know, sometimes I like to have what I call the bite-sized pieces, but I still don't want them to be too small. But that's a preference, so that's not going to change it, because that flavor for all the things that you like is still going to be there. Okay, uh-oh, I hear the pan. Come on over here so we can see. This pan is ready. That's why I put that little onion in, because once you hear that sound, you'll know it's ready. And I'm just going to go ahead and take the onions, and I'm going to bring those over and start cooking those in the pan. The onions and the garlic. See that garlic that's chopped up? That's beautiful. Okay, and I like to split those up. And I'm putting those in a pan. I want those to break up. Yeah, you see that? You want that to break up. Now at this point, you got the oil on high. We're going to turn it down some until we can get all these in there and start getting them really going and cooking how we want them to be cooking. You see that? That's just beautiful. We'll just go ahead and throw that red pepper in there too, since it's where it needs to be. We'll get all this in there. And then you just sit this down. You're going to take these onions and just break them up. You know, just break them up. So you have those in there. Yeah. As you can see, we are back in America. We had a few things going on when we were in Mexico. And this year is the year my youngest boy graduates. So we wanted to return to make that transition a little smoother. We were having some internet, you know, some IT issues. So it was about time for us to see Mama again anyway. We were missing her. So perfect timing to just go home for a while, get that taken care of, and, you know, we'll always have Mexico in our hearts, and surely we'll go again. Because we'll have to visit friends. Okay. We got this one. Let's get our little spatula going. Okay, and you're just going to let this marinate. Oh my goodness, I wish you could just smell this. This smells awesome. Yes, and also now that we are home, we're going to invite Mama sometime to come in and cook with us. We always have a lot of fun cooking together. And, you know, we miss her and we want to see her too and know that she is very well. Okay. Get this going. Oh, this is beautiful. Now, how you know onions are done, which everybody knows, is when you see them turn clear, you know they're done. Now, we don't want to get them too done at this point. So we've added them in and we turn the fire down. We're going to pump that back up a little bit and we're going to add our other ingredients. We've got quite a few of these. And when you're making this recipe, you want to be mindful that your squash, zucchini, and your mushrooms, they cook down. So if it looks like a lot, don't be fooled, because it's not going to be a lot. Once you add that and start cooking that to the pan, you're going to say, hey, that sure seemed like it was a lot. But once you start cooking it down, you're going to find it does like cabbage. You know, when you cut cabbage up, it seems like you got a whole lot of cabbage. And then once you cook it, it's like, what happened? It cooks down. Oh, this smells just heavenly, people. I mean, it really, really, really smells good. Now, for all you strict vegans, plant-based, this is a meal in itself, just right here. I mean, it's a meal itself. But I like some of the different vegetarian meats. I'm going to go ahead and open up this so we can add this to the mixture also. I think some of it for me is more psychological. I'm so used to having a meat or some type of meat in my meals that I feel compelled that I don't know, have to have it per se. So you can break this up any kind of way you want. So I might just slice it down and break it up. But you can also slice these like this and actually fry them back, front to back, and make little patties just out of the ground meat. But I like to kind of crumble it up, and we're going to add this to it. Now we're calling this veggie burger casserole, but it's not gonna really stick together. It's just gonna be together. So you know how some casseroles like lasagna and things like that, they actually stick together and form a little, you know, square that you can cut out. But this one won't be that same kind. This is just, it's gonna be together and not necessarily stick together. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and go back to the vegetables and get those done so we can start pulling the rest of this together. Okay, as you can see, these vegetables, they're coming down a little bit. We're going to put that top on it and let those cook down some more before we add our final 2 ingredients and put them in that pan. Yeah, you want to get you a big pan, because you have to take your time and be careful stirring this up, or you just lose a bunch of vegetables. They'll start traveling everywhere. Okay. Yeah. Now I've got some put a little rosemary on this. Never go wrong with rosemary. You know, a little bit of rosemary. And we're saying that's a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of rosemary. Doesn't have to be a lot. You know I love that seasoning right there. And we're gonna put some of that on it also. The slap your mama seasoning. But if you know my mama, you better not smack her. She might get violent with you. But I think all mamas might get violent with you if you try to smack them. Yeah. And this right here, I am going to say a teaspoon. But please be mindful of the seasonings that you're going to use, because a lot of your vegetarian meat will already have a sodium content to it, and you do not want to make your meal too salty. You know, it's better to back off of it, and then after it's cooked and it's finished, then you can season it to your liking on your plate, but then everybody is not subject to a high salt content. Because if you notice, I haven't added any salt to this whatsoever. Just my seasonings and my natural seasonings, okay? So let me go ahead. All these are glistening, so while they're glistening, we're going to put top on that, let that simmer some, and then we'll get ready for the next step. We're going to go ahead and opt to use a secondary skillet, because right now we still have quite a bit of ingredients. So once again, we're going to take about 2 tablespoons of oil over here, and we're going to start adding that vegetarian meat. Okay? Alright. Let that get a little hot. Okay. I'm not going to give it too long. We're going to go ahead and add this meat that we have crumbled up. Go ahead and add that to it. To the pan, and just wait on it to take that heat up, okay? We're going to add our bag of potatoes, the roasted potatoes, next. Okay, here's our roasted potatoes. We've opened this bag up. I wanted to pour it out just to see what all is in here. Okay. Oh, the bag itself, oh my goodness, it smells awesome. Oh, it smells awesome. So we've got that meat coming, and we're going to start adding this to that so we can put a little burn on that. Okay, yeah, okay. Here we go. We've got this pan that's coming up. You can see over here coming up. And we're just trying to put a little burn on it. Well, at the same time, we're going to go ahead and take those vegetables that we took out. Look at that roasted potatoes. Oh, they look beautiful. And we're going to go ahead and put these in this pan. Okay. Yeah, that's beautiful. Looks like we've made 2 meals in one. Yeah, look at that. That looks like a meal in itself, man. You got plenty of ideas right here, I'm telling you, folks. Okay, we're going to just put this in here. We're going to get a top and bring that up too. Actually, we're going to switch over to this side. We're going to put the top on here. We're going to come on over here and see how our vegetables go. Oh, look at that. Now, that's just beautiful. See what I mean by how we didn't put any water in here. But you see, those mushrooms have a lot of water in them. Okay, what I do to maintain some of my flavor, if you don't want a gravy or so, because I'm going to add a sauce of my own, I'm going to pour some of this water off of here, okay? Because we want to get a little burn on these. And just like the potatoes are roasted, come up, you can see, just like the potatoes are roasted, we want these to kind of have a little burn to them also. Okay, and we're just pouring out the water that's on this, okay? And we'll just take this back on over to the stove. If you need to add a little bit more oil, you can do so. But I wanted to take most of the oil, or most of the water that's come from those mushrooms off of it, okay? You see that? See all that water down in there? Yeah, that's coming from your mushrooms. Yeah. And look at that. Now that's nice. Now see what I mean by how first it was huge and it's come down some. Yeah. So be mindful of that so you'll know just how much you need to cook for the amount of people you're cooking for. And over here, we're just letting this go ahead and come up some so we can get those potatoes nice and tender. These vegetables are where I want them to be, and so is the meat and potatoes. So we're going to sit this aside, and we're going to start adding this in. Okay, you see that? Just going to start adding that in. Look at that. And my little pan here, I'm trying to hang on to it. I'm going to have to get rid of it because it likes to stick. And we can't be having that sticking going on. And cut your other one off. See, you've added this. Now, oh my goodness. Oh, if you could just smell this. This is so fabulous. Oh my goodness. Now, I like these type casserole dishes because you're one and done. You know, and the best part that I like about it is my son, when I cook for him, he doesn't know if it's meat or not. He just knows that it tastes really good. And that's always good too. Because he's eating healthier. He's enjoying it. And then once you tell him, it's like, okay. You know, sometimes when you tell some people, oh, well, we're not going to eat meat or whatever, they get, you know, they get aggressive or they get upset. But sometimes you can just fix your meals. You don't have to say a word. You have to tell anybody that I'm making what you're eating healthier for you. So we're going to turn this down real low so we can get the rest of the water to go out of that. And I have decided that if you want sauce with it, you can have it. But I don't think it's going to be absolutely necessary because we're going to put this in a casserole dish and add us some of the cheese. And then at the end, when it's done, I'll just pour a little over it and then we'll see how it goes from there. So let's let the water come on out of this. Don't put the top back on it because you want the rest of that water to come out of this. We're going to go on and get our pan so we can pour this in and get this in the oven. Okay, we're ready for the next step. We're going to get this in a casserole dish so we can get to baking this. Here's our dish. We're just going to pour this in. Oh, that is beautiful. I'm telling you, people, it is beautiful. Okay, if you think that you don't have enough oil in it, you can always opt to put just a little bit of olive oil, something in your pan, casserole dish before you add this, okay? So we've just added this. And we're going to go ahead and take our cashew cheese. And we're just going to sprinkle this through it, okay? Okay. Yeah. And I'm saying that's like maybe a cup, but you know me, everything is to flavor. So if you decide you want a little bit more, you can add a little bit more. I'm going to actually move this around so that the cheese will go through it. And then once you do that, you can opt and add just a little bit more on top if you like. Now we're going to go ahead and put this in our preheated oven. And we're going to do it on 400 because we want it to be a little high. Maybe we can get like a little burn over the top of it as that cheese melts. No more than 10 or 15 minutes and your meal is done. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this in there. Okay. All right, we're going to pull this on out. Now be mindful, the cheese doesn't melt exactly the same, but look at that. That is just beautiful. Now we're going to dig into this and get a little taste of this and let you know what we're working with. Oh, I can't get a fork out of there. Okay, we got us a fork out of here. We're going to... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, look at that. Oh, that just looks beautiful. Okay, hold on, people. Okay. Oh, honey, I can. Oh, people, this right here is the truth. Oh, I'm kind of glad I didn't add the sausage flakes, all the flavors, the garlic. Oh, this is really good. Now, go ahead and try that out. Remember to come back and down in the comments, you let me know how you liked it. And then, if you made it your own. Thanks so much for watching. Missed you all. Nice to see you back. Come again. Bye-bye.